Hey, what is up, everyone? It is me, Nolan, from Science HD Podcast, the live podcast on Twitch weekly. And this is the YouTube channel Rose and I are going to start for this. This is it. I have a few updates and disclaimers before we jump into the video. You made it. Thank you for clicking. But I thought I'll let you know some important details before we start watching this beautiful masterpiece. So, we are not professionals. I know this outfit may be deceiving with my official paper emblem, but we are curious students, so sometimes we're wrong. So I challenge you to do your own research on everything we talk about, plus more, and suggest anything. Tell us if we're wrong. You know, we make mistakes. That's what we do. But not saying everything we say is false or false at all, but you get what I mean. Next, these videos are going to be raw, uncut, straight from the stream, raw, uncut. And so with that, there might be some Twitch things that happen. So if you know what that means, it might mean someone follows and it pops up, or I'm reading the chat. That's a good one. I'm reading the chat, and stuff like that might happen. So just bear with us. It's still good. It's still great content. Lastly, for any suggestions, questions, or private introductions, and you don't want to use the comment section, ooh, damn, that all rhyme. Please email us. We have an email. That's crazy. We have an email. ScienceHD-Podcast@gmail.com. It's great. It's a great email. ScienceHD-Podcast@gmail.com. I'll say it one more last time, because you kind of need that repetition. ScienceHD-Podcast@gmail.com. I think that sums it up. Exclamation point. Enjoy the show. Let me know how that is.
Okay. Cool.
So much better. See, that's what we do. We learn on the fly, baby. We learn on the fly. So this is a really chill podcast. It's gonna be in front of my head.
Why don't you just scooch over this way?
I'll scooch over.
Look at that.
All right. Okay, right there. So this is a really chill podcast. We're talking about science. Last week, what did we talk about?
Polarized light.
Polarized light.
Moose.
And what's the other animal we talked about?
I can't remember.
Polarized light, moose. Then we talked about Albert Einstein and I think incest and stuff like that.
Oh my god. That is. Oh my god.
We also talked about drunk flies and stone dolphins, and I'll give you an update on that. Thank you, Asparagus. Let's go. I don't have alerts popped up on this tab, but thank you. Oh yeah, clownfish. Thank you. We talked about clownfish. Thank you, Hellish, for the appearance here. You just got to earn yourself a sub from Asparagus. I think Asparagus is a big fan of this show. Rose knows Asparagus.
I do.
I don't know any French. C'est la vie. Je m'appelle Nolan. Bonjour. Salut.
Oh my god.
À la vie, à la mort. I don't know.
Shall we session on Duolingo?
Shally de moi. You gotta tell me how Rose sounds too on this.
Number 1 victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite, we bout to get down.
Bro!
10 kills on the board right now.
Comment fa Nolan? Je m'appelle Kovo Arutu Bon episode. I don't know what any of that means, dude.
Look at the map, go to the mark sheet.
Agathon, my boys, my Republic Rants boys. I think this is a good time to plug that before we get going further as people roll in. Welcome, Kenneth Sif. Nice to see your face again. So, Republic Rants is a show I do with the two gifters of the night, Agathon and Asparagus. And we talk about video games and movies. So, entertainment, media, pop media. And it's always fun. And we do that Wednesdays. And we're going to do that this Wednesday. I usually do this show on Tuesdays, but Rose leaves Tuesday, so I had to pop it up a day earlier. But yeah, we usually do that on Wednesdays, and this Wednesday we're going to do like a game show on it. It's going to be like me versus Asparagus, possibly one other person. And so, yeah, it should be fun. We usually have a lot of fun. So if you're interested in any media, honestly, we kind of it's pretty good reach. But anyways, that's Republic Rants. You can find that on Asparagus' channel, and he's in the chat. So if you're on Twitch, go follow Asparagus Daiquiri. So anyways, that's a shout out. I think we can get rolling on the show.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. So, I gotta get my clicker here, aka my wireless mouse, And yes, we are using Google Slides. It is cool here. All right. So, first segment of the day, baby. Debunk-ish? Now, this is a question that I think Asparagus is going to like, because we talked about this on Republic Rants.
Okay.
But I was like, I need to talk about this on a science show. Well, here's the science show. And I want your opinion, Rose.
Okay.
Because Rose is a little bit more into physics than I am. And I want everyone's opinion in chat as well, if you're there. You haven't made it to this far in Mandalorian, because this is in Boba Fett TV show.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, Mando and the Grogu baby, he is in this ship. Oops. Oh, nice. I can scroll now. So he's in this ship, and when this ship is just extremely fast. I'm not spoiling much. The ship is just extremely fast. And so when he like hits 0 to 60, Grogu, like they're in the vacuum of space. When he hits 0 to 60, Grogu's sitting up like this and then just goes. Now tell me, if you're in the vacuum of space and there's no gravity pulling you down, or, okay, there's two things. I just realized this. Maybe they have like a system that depressurizes everything and makes it so gravity's pulling them or something.
Not even that, but think, okay, if vacuum of space, if Grogu was moving at some constant rate, or not even, let's say they weren't in motion and suddenly the thing that you're in is in motion, if you're standing still, like there's gonna be that initial like jolt back if you're moving, I feel like. Especially if it's 0 to 60 that fast, and that, or I feel like Grogu's gonna get smashed in that window unless there is something inside the ship that depressurizes or something weird. But
well, I would think, I think there's probably some they don't talk about it, so it's up to interpretation, I guess. But in the Millennium Falcon, let's say, the main ship of Star Wars, they're walking around, so obviously, while the ship's flying, so obviously there's some depressure.
Okay.
Rising.
Remember in Interstellar when they attach to the space station, and how they get gravity on the space station is that they start spinning, and that causes them to get pulled down. So,
yes.
But the Millennium Falcon isn't spinning.
Exactly. So I think there might be some depressurizing in the Millennium Falcon, but okay, let's talk about this though.
Okay.
I think Mando's strapped down, so I don't even know if it matters if he's depressurized or not. Did I say main shit of Star Wars? Ship, shit, same thing. But anyways, Grogu doesn't even look like he's strapped down. So let's just say that if there's no depressurizing, and he's just sitting there, and Mando cranks it, should he be flying back, or should like nothing happen? That's what I'm wondering.
I personally think that there would be some kind of jolt back. Only because if you consider Grogu and the ship as like two independent things, and Grogu just happens to be in the side of the thing.
I think they are.
Technically, if they're okay, before he goes 0 to 60 or whatever, they're at that constant rate of whatever, 0 to whatever. And then when that ship does that fast acceleration, Grogu, it's a law of inertia. Object in motion stays in motion. Let's now say force X upon it. Object at rest stays at rest.
Yeah.
He's staying at rest, and then the ship is the outside force. So
I think
technically he's still until the acceleration.
So I
happens.
think Star Wars got it right here.
I think so too. And I mean, it is Star Wars, so there's probably some technology we don't that still doesn't exist today.
Except for this is technically in the past too. They're just that advanced because it's a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago.
Okay.
So it was a long time ago in the 80s. So who knows? But anyways, I just wanted to see if that was accurate, and I actually do think you're right. And I think that this whole thing can finally settle. And I also remember talking to a mutual friend, Fudd, username Fudd, and he also said the same thing. So I think we can all rest knowing that Star Wars is somewhat accurate with gravity. They probably got it wrong a couple times. I actually need to see some times. I really wish that I was on a super popular podcast show so we can get like Neil deGrasse Tyson to talk about this.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Because Neil deGrasse Tyson's this astrophysicist who I think is the director of the Hayden Planetarium in New York, New York. Voice crack. And I look up to him. He's awesome. And he constantly gets interviewed because he's such an icon. He's even has his own meme. He's the meme that does this. That meme, you know, where you just put your hands up. He's that meme. And he always gets on interviews and answers questions. He also has a Twitter, and he debunks / calls out movies for being incorrect. Like, his most famous one is Titanic, where Titanic's final scene where whoever dude, you know the guy, what's his name?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, Leo's actor or character. What's
Jack
and Rose,
yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So when Jack is dying, apparently in the night sky, since we knew the date and time on when they died, Neil deGrasse Tyson calculated what the sky would look like that night, because they could do that. Astrophysicists can. And he contacted Steven Spielberg James Cameron. Did you know?
I don't know.
James Cameron, I think.
This is all you.
The director, and was like, "Yo, you got your sky wrong. That's just sky, and it looks even like it was mirrored, and it's not." I don't know if he necessarily called it lazy, but he was just saying that. And James Cameron was like, "Oh crap!" And eventually, years down the road, James Cameron remastered it, and they added the correct sky because of Neil deGrasse Tyson, and that's just
So
Neil
cool.
deGrasse Tyson just calling him out. And I'm like, how cool is that? That's pretty cool. I don't even know how you can trace back. It's almost like and what he said in one of the podcasts was, it's like forensic astronomy, which is that's cool.
Cool. That's a cool way to put it, because you definitely can trace back.
Yeah.
To certain dates.
Yeah. So, and that's why they get charts where what the night sky looked like when the first day you met someone, or the night sky on your birthday. Those charts. So that's why those are a thing. I'm pretty sure. But anyways, that was debunk-ish.
That Neil deGrasse Tyson, if anyone's seen the cartoon Gravity Falls, he was in that cartoon because he voiced a pig. So the
Really?
pig, the pig is put into this weird invention that makes you really smarter, more smart by the second.
Uh-huh.
So when the pig became super smart, Neil deGrasse Tyson voiced the pig. And then at the end he decides to dumb himself down again because he was getting too smart for his own good or something. And then that was the end of his cameo in Gravity Falls. Yeah.
That's cool.
I know. Well, I heard the voice when I watched the episode, and I was like, that sounds like Neil. So I Googled it. Yeah, sure. Sure enough.
I need to rewatch Gravity Falls because I only watched probably the first season, and then I just lost interest, I think, slowly. But I don't know. Gravity Falls need to watch because I've heard it's great.
It's a good show.
Did you watch all of it?
Yes.
Awesome. Hellish has watched it, and also great show that we both like.
Mm-hmm.
Gumball.
Oh.
Wasn't there more to that title?
Amazing World.
Amazing World of Gumball.
Yeah.
So, Gumball is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, next segment we have up is...
Oh, is this me next?
I think so, yeah. Oh, no, it's me. It's me
Okay.
still. Okay, hold on. I gotta use my mouse. I lost everything. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now. Okay, anyways. I can't sing that high on command, I guess. So, yeah, we have Don't Worry, Be Happy. So, what sparked me... This past week, I worked at my not new job, but the summer job that I started up again because it's summer. And what's coming out of hibernation, or what's coming out of their nests this summer? Let's say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bees. So we got bees coming back. I'm really afraid of needles. And what do bees have on their asses? Needles, kind of, stingers. Same thing.
They're called stingers.
They're stingers. That's what they're called. But anyways, they have stingers. And with this segment, I want to bring light to some misconceptions. Also, some pop culture misconceptions, just like last time with the clownfish in a movie. And I also just want to tell you how some things work, because I never took the time to actually know how some things work with bees. So anyways, bees. What do they look like?
Save the bees.
What type of bee is that, Rose? Do you know?
A honeybee? No, not a honeybee. It's not a honeybee. Honeybees are the big ones. They're fluffy, right? I don't know what bees. I just want supposed to save them.
See?
Save the bees.
This is prime example. I want to shed light. So she said honeybee. Then she said Oh yeah, by the way,
Bumblebee was the fuzzy one.
I'm not hitting wasps.
Is that the
And then
same?
she said bumblebee. This is a honeybee.
Okay, I was right. I just second guessed myself.
It's a really pretty picture of a honeybee. It's fuzzy because why do you think it's fuzzy?
Does it help them collect the pollen?
Yeah, so these guys are pollinators, but that's not why they want to exist, I guess, which is kind of like theological, but because bees probably don't want anything. But anyways, they're fuzzy because pollen attaches it to it easier, and then it spreads to other flowers, and that helps that flower grow. I think we all know that simple little exchange there.
Someone in the crowd going, oh.
And so what does a bee do with the flower though? Because it's not just there for the pollen, it's there for the nectar, and then it takes that nectar back to its hive. And I might be late to the party. I think I'm just late to the party, so if you already know this, good for you. But City Boy did not know this. Apparently that nectar is stored in its cells, which I think hexagons might be one of the strongest shapes on planet Earth, right?
You always say the triangle. I don't know.
Which is made up of a series, which is what a hexagon is made up of.
A series
triangle.
of triangles. So is the hexagon the triangle would be the strongest shape.
Yeah.
But so it's just one of them.
Yeah.
Product.
So a triangle is the strongest shape, but if you look at a hexagon, it's just 6 triangles. Like upside down, right side up, upside down, and then
you ever make them with the blocks in the kindergarten?
Yeah. So I think that's one of the cool things, the way nature has shapes and therefore math in nature. And you just find it, and bees happen to just structure their hives like that because they just smart like that. But anyways, this is a honeybee. I do want to go on the next slide because that's a bumblebee. That thick.
Okay, I know my bees then. I know my bees more than I thought I did.
Not honey, not bumble, honey. Bumble. Honey. Bumble. Not the app, honey. Not the app. They're both apps. So wasps are a different story. They're not bees. They don't do the same thing as bees. They do similar things as bees. Their nests are like wrapped in almost like it looks like canvas almost. Mm-hmm. Whereas these guys are hives and they look like frames. And it's really cool. Go look up. I don't know why I had a lot of videos on my TikTok pop up as just like bee stuff. And then I saw bees come out of, and wasps remind me of bees. And they come out of things. Yeah,
Did you say, okay, cool.
I got the bow tie every week, man. But anyways, let me get back on track. I'll start with the bee and then I'll move on to the wasp. But let me go with honeybee versus bumblebee. Big difference. What do you think the big difference is between a honeybee and a bumblebee?
One collects honey. One makes honey.
Yeah, one of them makes honey. But technically,
does a bumblebee have a stinger?
That's what I'm gonna get to after this as well.
It does it?
So, honeybee makes honey, but actually both of them do the same thing. They both collect nectar from plants, flowers. They bring it back to their hive that looks somewhat similar, and then they put it in those cells, which are just the holes in their hive, and they let it sit there for larvae to eat, and for themselves to eat. Now here's the difference. It's actually really cool. Bee colonies can get up to 50,000. And I think it's because the queen bee mates with a shit ton of bees, like male bees, which are drone bees, and the worker bees are female.
And how do the male bees contribute to their little bee society other than like?
That's what I don't know.
eggs?
I wish I ran out of time this week to like research every little aspect of Bee Nation. Can I get a Bee Nation in the chat? I'm just kidding. But so I couldn't research all of Bee Nation, but I really wanted to see what the male bees do. But I just got that idea that male bees, I think, are drone bees, which either I think might fly around the hive and protect, or they stay within the hive and work in there.
Maybe I bet it would be more of a protection thing.
Yeah, but the worker bees work and get all the stuff done, and those are all the females.
What happens when the queen bee dies? Is it one female replace her?
And also the bees can reject. But there's a lot of questions here. Let me answer this one.
Okay.
I'm getting off topic here. So they both collect nectar, and they both put it back in their hives. But the difference here is honeybees make a surplus of honey. And I don't even think bumblebees make honey all the way. The process doesn't go through all the way. And there also is a significantly less amount of bumblebees than there are honeybees. There's about 250 bumblebees per hive, and there could be up to 50,000 honeybees per hive. And that's ridiculous. So yeah, it's like night and day difference at that point, but there's so many similarities. These guys, let's go to stingers now. My least favorite part. The part I really want to get out there.
Okay.
Everyone knows that honeybees, if they sting, they die. Or at least I feel like a lot of people know that. So yes, it's true. If they sting once, they're dead. Sacrifice. A mighty sacrifice. Now, bumblebees, what do you think goes on with them?
I either think they don't have a stinger, or
I don't know if it picks up or not. Back from back there.
I think it does. Can it? Yeah. No, it's fine. Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know. Bumblebees are so cute. I want them to not have a stinger because then I don't have to fear them as much.
The fluffy guys.
Yeah, the fluffy ones.
Let's switch.
Or if they do have a stinger, I kind of wonder if like they just don't use it as much. Like if it's like really if you're only gonna like die or something. I don't know.
So you're right on that last part. Bumblebees, from what I read while looking at my credible sources, bumblebees have a stinger. When I'm scared. I'm not scared, but like I am kind of scared. But I'm like in shock when I read this because my whole childhood I was told, oh yeah, those big bumblebees, they don't have stingers. You don't have to worry about them. You're fine. When actually they have stingers, and just like wasps, they have the capability of stinging you multiple times.
Bumblebees do?
Yes.
Ah, they're so cute though.
But they're way more docile than honeybees and all wasps. Honeybees are like, when I looked up what bees are dangerous, it's like categorized honeybees as being dangerous along with wasps. So it's crazy. Let me read Dude Man's question. Is it true male bees die after fornication, thus all living bees are virgins, or is that just a meme? Let's look that one up because I do not know, and that would be a hilarious meme.
I did look up.
I think that happens with praying mantis though.
Well, that's because the lady one like rips her head off and eats them or something.
Something with beheading after fornication.
When they're lucky enough to achieve it, it only lasts a few seconds, and then they die immediately afterwards, because their parts and abdominal tissues are violently ripped out of them.
Wow, so
that's part of the process.
So that reminds me, queen bee is the only one that mates, and the queen bee mates with a few males, not all of them. So that's why it says if it's lucky enough to mate, then they get to mate and die immediately afterwards. So not all males mate. That's how there's like male workers. Mm-hmm. And then it mates with the queen, and that's crazy. I didn't know that, so thank you, Dude Man.
I looked up what happens when the queen bee dies, and one of the things I quickly looked at was said that right after the queen bee dies, it releases like some kind of like chemical that stops the other female ovaries from functioning.
That's cool.
How true is it? I still have to dig. So
Dude,
fact check yourself.
This whole episode can be talking about bees because bees are cool and they're endangered.
Save the bees.
Save the bees.
Have you seen the videos of where people get stung and they just like let it sit there and like the bee will sit there and like swing around? And I think I'd freak out if a bee stung me.
I think that happened with Dude Man apparently.
Did you leave it? You always sounds like you left it.
Yeah, he stuck in his foot for like an hour. It sounds like he left it.
Gosh.
Still had.
I'd freak out.
Dude, I've never been stung by a bee.
That's
ever.
Lucky.
I don't even know if I'm allergic or not. That's the scary part now. As a kid, I'm like, whoo, I dodged a bullet. But now I'm like, wait, I could be like violently allergic to this.
Oh no.
Then now what? What happens if I'm in the middle of a forest? I'm like, oh, I don't have any allergies, and then a bee stings me. I don't have an EpiPen or whatever you get.
Epinephrine.
Yeah. So anyways, let me get back on track here. You can actually see some pollen on this bee, and a little bit of the flower. I'm pretty sure that's what that pink stuff is. So, I don't even remember where I was going with this, man. I run from all bees too. We're reading chat, man. I run from all bees.
You didn't know it was in your shoe and it stung you and what? And was told to walk it off.
Here's the
school nurses or something else.
Here's the bad thing is when I do like day camps with kids. Not like do them, I run them, I work them. I don't attend them. Anyways, you get the point. When there's a bee running around, I like how some kids just stand there and be like, "Oh, yeah, no, it's."
Cue that video of me with like the wasp or whatever.
Oh, that's what I should have got.
Like, that's not a bee.
I should have got that. But some of the kids will just take it like a champ, and then me, I'm just like running away, and it's the most, I don't know, demeaning thing to myself. But anyways, so like what I said with honeybees, I think the next slide is what I'm thinking. Oh no, it's not. There's bees making honey. So they make a surplus of honey. Bumblebees don't. That's why bumblebees don't make like honey like we think. They make a surplus of it to survive through the winter.
Okay.
And they eat it during the winter,
Okay.
and that's what the purpose of honey is. And then I'm like, this whole time I'm just like, oh yeah, honey's from bees, yada yada yada. But then I'm like, do we just steal it from them? Yes, but they also just continually make it. And so mad respect to beekeepers. I'm never getting in one of those suits and doing that stuff because I feel like it would just trigger my ears. Because whenever a bee flies by me, it just like makes me want to do this. It makes me want to
like
do that.
There's the girl who like, what is she called on TikTok? She's a beekeeper, but she like tries to like fight the whole like bees are scary stereotype, and will like go in to like remove a hive without any suit on and like just scoop them out.
Yes.
And drop them down.
Dude.
And scoop them out and drop them down. And like sometimes she's like, oh, these seemed a little aggressive, so I'll steam them. But then she won't put on the suit. Like she'll just
right. Yeah, smoke them. I think
Yeah,
there's like
yeah.
they make bees sleepy. There's so much on bees. I'm gonna have to do this some other time.
This is gonna be like.
We'll
the whole
continue
show. It's
this.
just bees.
But like I said before, male bees do not go out and work. And if they mate, they die. And if they sting, they die. Now I don't remember how this movie. I don't remember how this movie really panned out. But
I do.
was in the bee movie, which is a meme now. It's a meme movie. If the bee movie has the male bee working,
And it does.
I'm pretty sure he's works. Like, he has a job.
He's put as a pollinator, so he like goes out and like pollinates and like grabs pollen and brings it back to the hive.
If he brings pollen, this movie is so incorrect.
I mean, he tries to get with a
human
woman
yeah.
too. So
There's so many things wrong with this
his
movie.
His friend stings a lawyer, and then his stinger gets replaced by one of those like shish kebab things that you put in like drinks, like a garnish sword thing. You know what I'm talking about? It looks like a little mini sword. Your mom would give it to you if she had a Bloody Mary. She'd eat the pickle off of it, and then you have like this little like plastic sword.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
That's what his stinger gets replaced with. Not his, but his friend.
His brother. It was one of the two. I don't remember. It's been such a long time since I watched that movie. But anyways, B movie, don't watch it. Or watch it, because apparently it's a documentary. But not really.
I had to watch it in like my freshman year of high school, but because of like copyright issues and everything, they watched it off of YouTube. And so the entire movie was like the pitch was just like a little bit higher, so everyone had like really squeaky voices the entire movie. It was awful.
Yeah, when people try to get past copyright by changing up the movie in a little way. My favorite way people get past copyright is to play the movie's audio fully, but have the picture be like much smaller and then just a different image around it. So you just have to watch it on a slightly smaller screen than the actual screen.
I did not know that's how people did that.
That's not, I highly doubt that actually works now, but anyways, that was bees.
Is that the bee segment?
That was the bee. What did I?
Don't
worry.
Oh my god.
Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now.
Should have plugged the song. You should have played the Clint
Oh, that's copyright issues.
Oh.
I would have to.
What if we make it a higher pitch?
I would have to pitch it up. All right. Next segment.
Okay.
This one's rose led.
It's-
I've been talking too much. It's called Two Truths.
One Fibonacci. I tried finding some fun facts about like Fibonacci for this one, but he's just not as interesting as Albert Einstein. I'm sorry. There's not much about him. So what I briefly want to talk about, because here's my disclaimer, is that this week I was also like a part-time math teacher to kiddos at the high school that I consider home. So my entire week has been taken up by teaching them the binomial theorem and how to factor. And then after that, I go to work at a restaurant. And then after that, I was training for my half marathon. So it's been a busy week.
So she's busy.
So I did a lot of like quick research off this, like 30 minutes before this little talk show started. And then that's what I have. And it's just like prior knowledge.
Little talk show? It's huge.
Big talk
There's
show.
14 million people in chat.
Next week gonna be hating on Happy Feet, saying penguins can't dance?
Maybe. That would be cool doing Happy Feet stuff because Happy Feet's awesome.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie, but I don't want to hate on it. I don't hate on any of them. I'm just like, I like to relate it back to movies. But anyways, Fibonacci.
Okay.
Fibonacci.
Boop. Next one. Next slide. Do you have
Next slide.
I don't know what you're doing.
It's not working anymore. That's why. Hold on. See, I can't
Ants
find the
is
mouse.
OG. I don't feel like anyone talks about ants compared to The Bug's Life.
Dude, we need to talk about ants. Okay, next
It's gonna
week.
be a whole thing.
Yeah, it's not working anymore.
Oh, okay, the Fibonacci sequence. So, if you haven't heard of the Fibonacci sequence, really super quick is that you take the number previous to it, the two numbers last previous to it, and then you add them together, and that gives you the next number in the sequence. So if you want to think of it as like 0 and 1, so 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 8 is 13, and it goes on and so on. So some of you might hear this called like the golden ratio, and like our friend Lauren said she took like an art class or something that was like entirely based off of like proving how like who was it? It was like Bella Hadid's face is like the most like beautiful face because it has like the golden ratio in it.
Yeah, so what's the golden ratio? This basically, like I was actually gonna ask that.
The golden ratio is 1 to 1.6 because if you take f of n minus 2 plus f of n minus 1 and divide it, or no, if you take f of n and divide it by f of n minus 1, I think that's what it was.
I'll translate it for you guys later.
Yeah. takes
takes
the numbers divided by the one previous, and you'll get 1.6. So that is like the closest you can get to the golden ratio. The real true golden ratio I think is 1, and this is the Fibonacci sequence is just like the closest you can get to it. So 1.6.
So golden ratio. So they say Bella. I think it's Bella Hadid.
Is it Bella or Gigi? I think it's Bella.
It's something Hadid.
L-A-G-G.
She has the most perfect face, mathematically.
Yeah, mathematically, like you can prove that Bella Hadid has.
And there's like a list too. Who has golden ratio face?
That's Lauren.
So that's kind of cool if you ever like look that up. Just who has a golden ratio face. I'm sure I'm well off the mark, but let's continue. Fibonacci. What is this loop-de-loop?
So I threw on the spiral. So I quickly read about this. So if you look at the spiral a little closer, you see like how our numbers in the beginning of the Fibonacci sequence are represented there by boxes, like squares, and then the spiral is like the corners of the boxes around. So
I see.
Spiral you see a lot in nature. And this is like, it just like continuously proves like how it's supposed to be the golden ratio because you'll find it everywhere in nature. So if we go to the next slide, I have some examples on where we see it. Oh,
whoa!
This is the math part.
Oh,
Don't run away! Don't run away!
Oh
it's
God!
Not bad.
Hold on, I don't like this.
This is just explaining. So if you didn't get what I meant, like by f of n minus 1, f of n minus 2, whatever. This is just showing you how you get the numbers. So 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. Just add your last two numbers. But we can skip this. I won't get into that.
So
I'm still in partial math teacher mode, I think.
For those just tuning in, please stay. We
I
promise
like
it's not just math, but personal mathematician here. She helped me get past my last math class of my college career.
He got 108% on one of his exams.
I got 108%, and that was cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna flex that, but
I'll flex it.
She'll flex it. She tutored me on that because it's been a while since I took it. Didn't know I had to take it, but anyways, this math.
All this is
for those who understand. Boom, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, so these are the examples of where you see the Fibonacci sequence spiral.
Crazy.
It's called like a logarithmic spiral, not exponential. If you know what that means. If you don't, exponential means it grows really fast at an exponential rate. Fibonacci's number doesn't quite do that. We don't consider it an exponential function. But here are the examples of where you see the spiral. So in the Milky Way galaxy, in the seeds on flowers, in leaves. You can also see it on tree branches.
And embryos, apparently.
And embryos.
Wow. You know, this is cool because... Wait. So are you saying, like, all these circles are... just look similar, or it's kind of...
No, like, it's... Like, you can find, like, the spiral in it and, like, mathematically prove how it's, like, the golden ratio if you, like, really get into the nitty-gritty details.
So you could find the golden ratio within all, if not most of... Probably all of these. Yeah. And it's all natural, baby. Organic. And that is cool. That's Asher, by the way.
Asher!
Fibonacci.
Oh!
Fibonacci. Asher, welcome. Yeah. Anyways, that's cool that all these spirals appear in nature, and you know, it's just cool because I love seeing how everything is related. Like, that's the universe, the Earth, and then a plant on the Earth, and then a little like cell on something that's on the Earth. Like, that's crazy. That's almost like all the spectrums of.
Usually when like if
Blow
you
my
just
mind.
Google like examples of like where you'll see it, the most popular thing is that you'll see it in flowers and your like your tree branches and stuff. Another example that I heard a lot in like my Calc 3 class with my wonderful math professor was they use this like this example of like how rabbits breed.
Calc is calculus, by the way. I'm just saying, for people that don't know college lingo, I feel like that's.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways.
Okay, she talks about, well, Fibonacci himself talks about how, like, the rabbit breeding idea, so, like, how they, like, kind of breed really fast, and, like, that is
Why we're like rabbits.
Yeah, well, that is another example, again, of the Fibonacci sequence. I thought it was a calculator.
Okay, Asher. Okay. Thought it was a calculator. Anyways.
I mean...
Fibonacci.
Okay.
Good
What's
night.
next?
What's next? Well, it's like that one TikTok audio. What's next? What's next?
I don't think
you don't know that one?
No.
Someone
I'm on a
out there
different
knows.
side of TikTok.
Someone out there knows what I'm talking about. Oh no, it's out of the font. Crap, I forgot to make that the font. Unification? More like. Oh wait, yeah, unification. Unification.
That was the best we got for this
Yeah,
one.
that was a great. I like that title though. It's kind of funny. Keyword kinda.
Okay, so, again, not gonna get too far into it, because if we get too far into it, you get into, like, quantum theory and quantum physics, and things get a little confusing and dicey and dodgy there. So, first off, we do have 4 fundamental forces of the universe.
Boom.
So, that's gravity, electromagnetic force, strong force, and weak force. And all these forces are, like, extremely different. But...
Wait, what's the difference? I mean, other than the strength, but strong force, weak force. Like, all I see are balls and more
I was
separate
going to Google
balls.
this on the fly because I remember learning about this in like junior year in chemistry class, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I know strong force is like, okay, if it's holding atoms together, or like trying to like repel from each other, that's a strong nuclear
Probably like
force
a
there.
covalent bond. And then weak force might be a London dispersion thing.
Something.
Chemistry.
I could Google it, but I don't want to waste time.
Yeah. Don't. Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
They're strong and weak forces.
So I want
baby.
to talk about my idol.
Strong forces
It's
just built different, bro.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I could sell that.
Then put like 2 balls next to each other. Pause on that. But yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so I want to talk about my idol again. It's Albert Einstein, because I want to give him some credit. So Albert Einstein, while he was like getting near the end of his life, he was actually trying to unify the forces, but the problem was that Albert Einstein didn't know about the strong and weak force. So he was trying to unify electromagnetism, or electromagnetic force, and gravity. Right, well, you can't do that if you don't know the other 2 forces that exist in the world.
Right.
And then later on, we also have this lovely film who focuses on Stephen Hawking's life.
I still need to watch it.
It's so good. It's so good. I love it.
Is it triumphant?
It is. But one thing, one big problem with like why we can't unify the forces that we have is that gravity can't be described in a quantum. What's the word I'm looking for? Like a quantum.
You
just a
can't.
quantum
You
way.
can't quantitate.
There's no like.
You can't quantitate
There's no like. For example,
the numbers.
I wrote a paper on this my senior year, so I'm really trying to like dig in the depths of my brain right now.
Ooh.
But one thing that was talked about was that if they could exist, like the idea of like a is it called a grav? I always when I say this, I always think of like the fair ride, the gravitron.
Oh,
but it's not the gravitron. It's not the ride, the gravitron. But like there's a subatomic particle that they want to associate with gravity. Like
I think it's graviton. Might be
graviton.
Graviton.
There's no R.
There's no R.
There's no R, but it's really close.
I never went on the gravitron. I was always too scared, and then by the time I didn't get scared, now I think it's too sketchy. So
yeah, I used to ride that like 4 times back to back, and I would drag like my cousin on it, and then my cousin would like go on the back and puke, and then ride it again with me.
Quick
She was super
tangent.
cool.
What happens on the gravitron? Like,
Okay, so you're in it and you stand next to these padded walls, and then it starts to spin, so you get sucked to the walls.
Yeah.
Just like how we talked about earlier in Interstellar, when it spins, it creates gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this just amplifies like that pull. And then those like padded walls that you're on start sliding up and down. So like the person next to me might be like
What?
up here, and I'll be down here. Yeah, so you're stuck. So you're stuck to this wall, and like the padded thing that you're on like moves. So like there's like padded like walls all around.
Oh, I did not know
And
that.
segments. So like your individual segment might like go up, and the next one will go down. So like while you're stuck to this wall spinning really fast, the padded wall.
And that's just like the inertia pulling you to the wall.
Yeah, and then it's funny because like the guy that runs the fair ride is in the middle in like this little pod that's isolated, so he's not moving.
Yeah.
And everyone else is in it. It's just going crazy.
And I remember seeing videos of people that just like stand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like here's the wall and the people are just standing like this, and it's the funniest thing. I don't even know how you record that. Like how much movement do you have?
I don't know. So I
need to figure this
I've
out
seen people
myself by
like
just doing
wiggle
it.
Sideways. I've seen people like sit up, and like you can get yelled at too because you're not supposed to.
Oh yeah, you'll fall on your face when it's done.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's just like it's just like experiencing like 2Gs or something, like when you just get sucked. So like you can get up, but it's just harder to do.
Gotcha. It's more gravity.
Yeah. So
Anyways, I don't even remember where we were before the tangent.
Fundamental forces, trying to unify them. So when we try to unify forces, one thing that
So bring them all together.
yeah,
Sweet.
trying to create the theory of everything, the name of the movie. There's the plug. When we're trying to unify all the forces, one of the questions is like why do we care? And I think the whole point of caring is just like if we can find unification theory, that's like that could like unlock a lot of questions about like the creation of the universe for us.
Ooh, my type
Yeah.
of question.
Yeah. So if we could get this, it'd be really cool for physicists, and some of them are in support of like string theory unifying all the forces.
Now what's that?
Some of them are not. Like Albert Einstein himself was very against like quantum physics, like but his work like helped prove the existence of it, but he hated it.
That smiley potato guy over there.
I know, I drew that picture. That's why I put it in there. I drew that in high school.
That's cool.
But Stephen Hawking. So I just googled it before we threw this together. But he also believed in a version of string theory. He calls it. I think he called it M theory, which I haven't dug into yet. So I don't know what M theory is. But my understanding, there's a Brian Greene video. I love him. So if you want to like know more about string theory, look at Brian Greene.
Brian Greene, not Hank.
I love him.
Not Hank, or his brother.
John.
John.
You know, the author of many.
A different guy that's unrelated.
Notebooks.
Physicist. Which those guys are awesome. All three of them are cool.
Yeah, yeah.
On separate things. Like, all three of them are cool. I love those guys.
Yeah. But Brian Greene, he does this really short video just like trying to like in like layman terms describe what string theory is.
Mm-hmm.
And that really helped me understand it. But again, it's very like basic. Like this is just like what you need to kind of know, but like it's way more complex.
Yeah.
And the really basic understanding of it is that everything is made up of strings, these subatomic strings that make up your subatomic particles, and all the strings are vibrating at different frequencies, kind of like when you strum the strings on the guitar. And if you strum the right the strings in a certain way, you can create different chords, notes.
Oh god, that's so bad.
I think your pick's still in it, isn't it? So the same idea for string theory is that the strings are vibrating at different frequencies, and when they vibrate at a certain frequency, it creates a new subatomic particle.
So like Interstellar, he's plucking those things.
Yes.
In the Tesseract.
In the Tesseract. Oh,
Interstellar is going to be brought up almost every week, by the way.
Such a good movie.
It's a great movie. Might need to rewatch it sometime soon because
Oh my God.
I don't say that often. I don't rewatch movies that often, if you know me. And Interstellar might be up there
That's good.
on rewatchability. Yeah. So that's cool. Next slide, maybe?
Yeah. I don't even know where I was going with
Maybe.
this. Oh, I want to talk about a book. I have it here with me.
What?
And what was I gonna say? I got distracted, but can you play Wonderwall?
Maybe something about Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, no. Well, actually, I was gonna tell you where I got the book from. My mom bought this book for me down in like Kentucky or Tennessee, one of the two, in like this really giant bookstore. But it's really cool because it's a graphic novel, as like it says on there, a graphic guide. Can you see it? I don't know. Where's the camera? So it's kind of nice because it tells you about his life and what he tried to accomplish, and it's just a nice little read because it's not it's not like super high. Like you don't have to know your physics to read this to understand it, which is nice. But yes, I recommend this book if you're interested in learning about Stephen Hawking and potentially a little bit about string theory and the unification theory, because that's what he was really big about proving.
So how to bring all those
forces
together and unify. Unification. I can make up a song like that. Unification, vacation. I want to go on vacation in a nation. Maybe Costa Rica or Romania. I do not know because I want to go unificate. I don't know. Anyways, that was unification.
Unification.
More like
very, very quick.
Unification. More like.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Just unification. That's good. Just wait till I have like, if I ever make like a YouTube video, I'll just do a voiceover thing like that. Unification. So, anyways, I think. Oh shoot! This is actually my not least favorite, but like most nerve-wracking part. So I'm in the comfort of our studio, aka my bedroom, and this is going to be an experiment. We're going to experiment with... You might have already seen this. It's really common. Let me go to the experiment screen. Actually, let me just keep the same screen, dude. And just I gotta learn to fly, man. There you go.
Wait, is that? Oh,
sweet. So here is a bag of water. You may think it might look like vodka, but I promise you it's water. That was a stupid joke. It's cold, and I really don't want this to get on my floor.
Do you want me to hold it?
But for some reason, I made a deal with someone that I have to poke holes through this on this stream, or I lose $1 million that I don't have. That's just a thing I made up to show you that I have to poke holes through this without getting my room wet. Do you know this experiment?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Wonder how it's gonna go.
I'm gonna do it. This is like, I don't know. This is really. I'm really scared because I only have this thing under here. Maybe I should just scooch up.
Yeah, here.
Oh, this is perfect. All right. So if you guys don't know this experiment, sorry if I'm way too close and it's just. It will go perfectly okay. I'm actually risking. My keyboard's right here too. Here, can you grab this towel?
Yeah.
And put it like over there. Nothing will go wrong.
The keyboard?
So if you guys don't know this experiment is just shows polymer chains and the elasticity of the plastic able to suction off air from getting in. And I don't know if it creates a vacuum, but like if there's no air that will come in and out and there's no free space to move, water will not escape if I stab a hole through this. I would say theoretically, but I have seen this work. Not gonna lie, I tested this before I did it and it failed. So I'm gonna try.
I don't want to put this over your keyboard.
Yeah,
because
no.
I feel like it might like
Touch a button
buttons and then mess some things up.
Okay.
So just don't mess up.
I'm sorry if I'm extremely loud in this microphone. Thank you, Mom, for your support. Enjoy your sub. You can use emotes now that Rose has created. By the way, shouts out to Rose. She created a few of these emotes on here, and I'll.
Oh, you have that one? Is it
Yep.
up there?
I'll send the
I
ones
can
that
fix
she
it more.
created. No, it looks good.
Okay. Well.
Well, you can still fix it. I can replace it. So Rose created all these emotes.
If Liam had to do it, cool. That one took the longest.
Gas and burn. A little late to the party, but we're about to do the experiment. Sorry, I'm stalling. I'm really nervous. Sharp pencil. I think these are all sharp enough. If you want to do this at your own place, I've never actually done this in real life. I've only ever seen it. So I'm going to try stabbing it slowly.
I feel like that could be the problem.
Slowly? So what do we do? Fast or slow?
I don't know.
I know I should be knowing this, but there was only
Didn't
so
you
much
just do
time.
it?
Okay, 3,
Go for it.
2. I'm just going to do it at a moderate pace. 3, 2, 1. Oh! Sorry for being loud. That was cool. There's not even a drip in here, baby. Okay.
Okay, but you haven't
Different
moved
angle.
it yet.
I did prove it. That's
No,
all
you
the way
haven't
through.
removed it.
Oh, yeah.
Shouldn't
Well, that wasn't the point.
Well,
yet.
I guess if you...
I'm going to do 3.
It's still pressure instead of the... Okay, so that would...
And then I'll show the camera. 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
It goes through so easily. I'm kind
Dude,
of
it's like
impressed
butter
right
right now. All right. While this isn't all everywhere, I'm going to show the camera. Oh, gas and burn brings up a great point.
Don't remove the knife.
Don't remove the knife. Makes a fantastic. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to like... It is dripping a little bit, but for the most part, it's all staying in there. All right, I'm going to try angling it different, just in case you guys think it's a magic trick.
I think.
Shoot, how do I do this without
What do you mean?
causing a mess? Okay.
You can go up.
3, 2, 1. Baby, let's go. That's a double. Look at that. I'm in a triple. I guess that's a triple. Look at that, baby. Look at that. I say baby way too much, by the way.
Plastic bags.
The plastic bag is pediatric. So that's really cool. It might look weird or dumb over camera, but like in real life, I can get more pencils here. Hold this. Hold this. We're going. Oh. Never mind. I don't have any more pencils.
You just wanted to see if I could hold it out this long.
I would go look for some more, but I don't even know where to start for that. So yeah, what's happening here? It is a science show after all. What's happening here is, honestly, it's as simple as elasticity in the plastic and creating a seal, but that's due to like going down to the cells or atoms, I guess, not cells, atoms of this plastic. It has a polymer chain, which a polymer is just a chain of molecules. And I'm just gonna ignore that comment from Gas and Burn. I'm just gonna continue what I was about to say. So yeah, it's just a chain of molecules that allows this stretchiness. So it's really cool. It's simple, man. You just gotta ruin a plastic bag of yours. So yeah, I'm gonna destroy this now by just taking it out. Should I realize
Push
if I take
it through.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to
You
push
would
it
like you would an arrow. So if you don't get stabbed and you have an arrow in you,
or pull it through all the way?
maybe cut off the end and then pull it through. Yeah. See, I think there's a way.
Think there's a way what?
Isn't there a way where like you could like stab something like that and like take out?
Look at how much blood would be trickling out of your body if you pull out the knife.
And then like it wouldn't pour out like that. Like I feel like there's a way. Maybe if it was like. I think there needs to be like a certain like environment for it, but I think there's a way that like if we were in the right environment, like some kind of like vacuum or something, where there wasn't like pressure
Oh,
of some sort,
okay,
where you
let's
could stab
discuss.
something and take it out, and then like it wouldn't go all over the place. Because the only reason that's getting pushed out is because the air on the inside is pushing.
There's
I mean, and there's probably an element of gravity there because it
yeah.
has mass, but
Yeah, I'm sorry if you had to go to the bathroom. You no longer have to go to the bathroom. Get it? It's like trickling water.
yeah.
I don't know if you could hear it, or see it, but anyways, yes. I wonder. That's a good question. I should have wondered that question before we
I just think
got
that
on
was
here.
something like in chemistry class. That
So like, let's say the ISS. Well, not the ISS because there is no gravity. So
No.
think of it like that. If you did this on the International Space Station, it would still look like you're stabbing it through, and it would still have that seal. But if you pull it out, nothing's gonna trickle out. So I think it's because of the gravity. You know what I mean? Maybe it's because of the gravity it doesn't come out. I'm not sure. But anyways, you could do it with a smaller bag, and stab even more pencils in multiple angles. It's just the seals, man. But that's a good question, and honestly, we don't have all the answers because we're just students. And
or research on the fly.
we research on the fly from credible sources or learn this in school. So I do recommend you do some research for your own, but I wouldn't like to call it research. I'd like to just call it looking for answers on the internet, because research is its own little thing, and looking up answers on the internet is completely different. And I hate this day and age where everyone's saying that they know everything because they just look it up on the first link of Google.
Or they see it on Facebook.
Or Facebook. Even worse. I know this is getting like... No, this is still about science, because it happens in science, and it relates directly to politics or whatever, or just everyday life, where you see something on Facebook or any social media, and then you're like, yep, that happened. So...
Yeah.
If you really want to know a question about science... or just like certain things, I highly recommend Google Scholar. Yeah. Not a lot of people know that people aren't in school,
because a lot of those on Google Scholar, it's a lot of like papers, like published papers, and a lot of them like aren't going on Google. I can type in like, what's the point of this, and it'll tell me what's the point of said thing. But like on Google Scholar, like, you have to do some digging, and a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to do that.
I think that's the difference. Is on Google Scholar, it just pulls up. It's not meant for Google searches like how to correctly slice a tomato. That's almost opinionated. That is opinionated. But let's say, why do kangaroos jump the way they do? That's a good one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Why do kangaroos jump the way they do? If you look that up on Google, I'm sure you'll find an answer without even clicking a website.
All right, it's gonna be one of those automated.
If you do, whatever. But if you look at it on Google Scholar, it'll just pop up with a bunch of documents / journals from a group of scientists that may have researched jumps of kangaroos. And then they might even not label it as Y. It might just be like measuring kangaroo lengths. And then in their discussion portion of the paper, it might be Y.
Yeah.
So like that's why people don't go to Google Scholar, because it's so much work just for a little answer.
Yeah.
Whereas regular Google will just bring it to you. But regular Google might be wrong. Crazy, huh?
Yeah. Long story short, check your sources.
Check your sources. And
I want to go into this comment because
dude manog.
He's talking about the breathing. Could that be because that is definitely because of pressure? Oh, there is an equation like P equals V M or something, because it's pressure, volume. Is it mass? I don't think it's mass.
I have no idea.
You don't remember that? So
NRT
like when
thing?
there's like you put
PV equals NRT or something like that?
No.
Oh.
That's a...
Hey. I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Well, is it?
I think it might be.
It might
What's
be.
the
Yeah,
P?
No.
What's the P? No, wait, that's value. That's principle. That's
That's
totally business and math.
That's what I
that has
thought.
nothing to do with this.
But it's similar. It's similar to that because it's temperature affects the volume.
I have no idea.
There's an equation out there that proves this. That proves that bag, then the water flowing out of it. Because it's like if you put a marshmallow in one of those like vacuum seal things and you pull out all the air, the marshmallow will expand. Remember those experiments at all?
Oh, Gas and Burns just letting it loose tonight. Jeez.
What is that? Do I know them?
Urethra?
Like, no.
The original thing that we were talking about? Well, okay, here's my hypothesis. I don't know. Yeah, it just went over my head. The equation?
No, I'm asking if I know who Gas and Burn is.
Oh, no, we don't.
Oh, okay.
Not in real life.
I thought that we maybe knew them.
No.
Or you definitely do.
I would let you know. I've seen Gas and Burn before, yes. But I'll let you know if I've seen some username that is a real person. Boole's Law. Mama Banjo.
Is that my mom?
Oh my god. Boy. What up to Rose's family?
She totally created a
Bone. That's totally
Banjo.
Jovi Bonbon Dish. Anyways.
Boyle's Law. Mom, do you know the equation? Why don't you just knock at my mom? That'd be really awkward.
Yeah. We're just gonna call you Mom as a nickname. No, I'm saying Gas and Burn is not a person we know in real life. Flip the words around in that sentence and you got it. Anyways, what were we talking about?
We're talking about pressure.
Oh yeah, my hypothesis on why the bag thing worked, or the slowing your blood or your breathing rate down to slow the pressure of whatever coming out. You know what I mean? How do I word that? My hypothesis for why breathing slower makes bleeding slower.
There's less pressure. If your diaphragm is not expanding, then there's no like push happening. There's nothing like pushing out, because for this to get bigger, everything else needs to move for it.
PV equals K.
Okay, so that's pressure. Pressure times volume equals
a constant. Is K not a constant?
Kinetic kinetic energy. Is that what it is?
I have no idea.
Because kinetic energy is associated with temperature. If you increase the temperature of something, the kinetic energy increases. I think that's what it is. Anyways, there. So, okay, if the volume of your lungs is increasing, therefore, I also think that means kinetic energy is increasing. Then pressure changes. Or maybe it's backwards.
We're just guessing here.
Know.
We're just guessing
this is where
here.
we're getting a little dicey. But
this
definitely is associated
I
to
needed
pressure.
like a dice
100%.
thing that rolls across the screen every time it gets...
Dicey?
Oh, the K doesn't stand for constant. It's just a random thing. A random letter.
I don't know.
Oh, dude, it's in Australia. Dude, I want to go to Australia so bad. Oh my gosh. You want to hear my Australian accent? I have one. It's really bad.
Oh no.
I don't even know if that's like offensive or not, but... Oi, mate. Give me some Vegemite on the barbie.
Oh, I have a question. A question for Gas and Burn, who lives in Australia.
Okay, now it's Q&A, but we ask you the questions.
Have you ever seen like the... Okay, skip the story time. Is it true that you have an ice cream called like the Gay Time or something?
The
Gay Time?
The Gay Time. I've never even heard of that.
Back when Tumblr... Okay. Back when Tumblr existed and that was the cool thing to do, there, it's like Tumblr text
Gay Time
post.
ice cream.
It was like there was someone going, I'm having like a gay time with like a family member, and all
Golden
Americans.
Gay Time.
Yeah. So all the Americans were like, what are you doing? Well, like your grandfather? And I go, no, it's like an ice cream in Australia.
Where's the computer?
Over here.
I gotta know.
Golden Gay Time.
Golden Gay Time ice cream. How cool.
Australia nice.
Honestly, I need to just look it up on there. Here.
I don't know if there's any science to the Golden Gay Time, but I was interested. I needed to know if the Tumblr text feed post had any truth. It's an ice cream covered in biscuit crumbs.
Oh, those are not nuts.
Biscuit crumbs.
Biscuit crumbs. Or nut crumbs. So, there we have it. The Golden Gate Time. That's the unification, see, of multiple ingredients.
Wow.
Multiple ingredients? I don't know. Wow. Why do you know this? I feel like this is one of those small things you don't know about Australia until you visit or something.
I used to be on Tumblr.
Wow.
I have a Tumblr.
Thanks, Tumblr. RIP Tumblr. I don't even know if that exists anymore.
It looks like our strawberry ones that are popular here.
There are strawberry ones popular here. I do remember that. That's like the gas
one?
station, like, yeah. There's so many comments I can't read that. But anyways, I was gonna lastly say my hypothesis of why I think blood flows slower when you breathe slower. I feel like if there's a slower, because I feel like there's chain reactions going on. Keyword, I feel like that, it's just me saying my guesstimation is there's chain reactions of your body going on. So
your mom put some dice in the chat.
Oh, thank you, Mom, for the dice. It was getting dicey about 10 minutes ago. But thank you. So blood flow or breathing affects your heart rate, right? That's pretty, you could test that. And I know that every time because it affects me more just for, I don't know, my heart's sensitive there. So my idea is, since it affects your heart rate, it'll affect your blood flow. Now, if I think blood flow is like at an average of 3 to 4 miles per hour. through your
That's
body.
cool.
That is cool. And to get a good pace of what that is in your head, think of, what is it? I think you think of either like some medicine that affects immediately. Get an idea of
Like
how fast that
epinephrine?
affects you. Yeah.
Or like,
And that's like your blood flow.
or what they push through your veins
or
before you get
drink.
an MRI.
Drink alcohol and see how fast it affects you getting drunk. Because if your blood wasn't flowing, you wouldn't get drunk, but you also wouldn't be alive. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, man, I feel like if you slow down your breathing, it slows down the rate at which oxygenated blood reaches all your parts of your body, and therefore decreases the rate at which it comes out of your body through whatever leak is going on.
I guess it also depends on where the wound is, like where you're leaking blood. Because if it's down here, that would be what I go for. If it's a chest wound, I think just the lungs expanding would also help push that out because of that.
I don't know if it's necessarily. I don't know. I would think that just because the heart's right here, but let's say you hit an artery right here or a vein.
Right, then it would just be the
Right.
blood flow.
Then it would hurt, but like,
Well,
I don't know. You know what I mean?
Oh. Through wounds really hurt. I mean, if it's, I'm
It's
assuming
gonna
if it's
hurt
like
like a
gunshot
mope.
wound.
Anyways, that's just my hypothesis. I think that's all the segments we have. We started with bees, and we ended on golden gate
time.
golden gate time.
I needed to know. Or there's another one. Ever heard the stories about the magpies getting bad and people like running down the street with buckets on their heads?
Magpies, what are those?
I think they're magpies. They're the birds. They're birds that get very aggressive in Australia.
Cassowaries? I don't know, those are a thing.
Maybe.
Have you ever seen a cassowary
Not
gas and burn?
magpies.
Are those common? I don't know.
We could have a whole segment just talking to
Gas and burn. We need to
About
get you on
Australia.
a Discord call.
so many questions.
right
Australia's
now.
a weird place, man.
Yeah, let's end Science
Is it
HD.
real?
We just question Australia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Australia even exist? Because I've never seen it.
That's like, I had people in high school that would say that like Wyoming doesn't exist because
No one
I've
talks
been there,
about it.
but yeah, but everyone in high school was like,
Magpies are real.
Does it look like crows?
First of all, and our black and white birds that act like crows. They swoop in you in the spring and they memorize faces.
They come at you.
So they're not like crows because crows do not do that crap.
They don't come at you.
No, but they are similar to crows because they remember your faces. That's cool. Crows. I should talk
love
about
crows.
crows soon.
Yes.
Awesome. You've seen a cassowary. Are they as common as Canadian geese? Well, I don't know if you know that, but cassowaries are one of the most vicious birds on the planet. I think similar. They've actually
And
killed
of course
humans.
They live in Australia.
I'm not even kidding. They've killed humans.
Are they only in Australia?
I'm assuming Australians. Yeah, they're only in Australia. Similar to emu.
I want to get a tattoo of a crow.
Yeah.
On my arm. My mom's on here, so I was gonna.
Chirp in, bone.
That was good.
Bone.
Just going what?
Now we're just doing like
Yeah, now we're off.
open
Now we're
discussion.
off.
Yeah, we're done with the slides. But open discussion. It's good. It's podcasting, man. Cassowaries have raptor legs. They are effed. All birds have raptor legs because all birds are dinosaurs. Fun fact. You're hitting my alley, man. Cassowaries are dinosaurs. And it's kind of scary because they will kill you. It's stupid. I don't even know how they would kill you. They don't even look like they would kill you. Like, have you ever seen one?
No, I do not know what a cassowary looks like. But I'm picturing like an ostrich on like steroids.
No, it's actually smaller.
Oh, that looks like the bird from
Looks like a evil chicken, man.
No, it looks like the bird from Up. Is it Up? The balloons.
There's Bone.
Oh, she's going, Rose, don't get a tattoo of a crow. Don't do it.
They look like what?
They look like the bird from Up.
Kevin?
Kevin. So maybe some like inverted. Kevin was colorful though. His whole body was colorful. Okay, I'm backwards. The head looks like Kevin.
I'd say the body shape maybe too.
Yeah.
But these, I think they are smaller than ostriches and emus even, but they're aggressive, and I'm pretty sure they've killed
They look like they would.
humans.
That like, what is that thing on their head made out of?
It looks like it's made of keratin, but I'm not.
That's what I wonder. Is it
I'm
keratin
not,
or is it?
I don't know. I'm not a cat spray expert, but let me say this about Australia. I forgot where I was going exactly with this. I know it's like sounded immediately, but I was gonna say something about how Australia drifted off from the rest of the continents over geological time, which is just time.
Did you hear this? An emu killed a tiger.
Emus run 70 miles an hour and have killed tigers in Australia, and have an incident when they accidentally put an emu in a tiger enclosure. It ripped.
How do you put an emu in a tiger enclosure
First of all, are there
accident?
I don't even know if they're naturally tigers in Australia. So,
but that emu was prepped.
yeah, the emu. Yeah, I like
you
how
know what was happening.
Tigers are. I don't even know if they're native to Australia, but somehow the emus
that wasn't
can
an accident.
rip it out.
The emu had a hit out for the tiger.
Yeah, emus I think are also aggressive, but I've read that this is like the most violent bird on the planet. Gas and Burn could probably like test this. We should just do an Australia episode.
We really should.
Yeah, I didn't think they were natural tigers because of continental drift, baby.
That's a
You
nice
can
movie,
there's continental drift.
Yeah.
That's cool. But what I was trying to do with
Dingoes.
I have another story about
Dogs?
that too.
Are they dogs?
Well, wait, let me say. Hold on. So, I'm going to come back to that. Remind me.
Okay.
So what I was about to say with Australia is there's a lot of animals that look nothing like the rest of the world's animals on Australia. Kangaroos, ostriches, emus.
Okay.
But ostriches and emus look strikingly similar.
Uh-huh.
It's not a coincidence that they're on the same island, and the island's massive. And that's just due to my best friend's speciation, which I could talk about on a different episode. And this is just like free talk. I like learning about biology and evolution, and it's cool because if you take, let's say, here's a good example that happens all the time, beetles, and this was in a book that I'm referencing, and it's called Bill Nye. Bill Nye has a book, Undeniable, and it talks about, briefly, but it talks about if there was a population of beetles at the bottom of a mountain, and then all the snow on the mountain melted and created like a river or a creek that split the population of beetles in half permanently, that eventually over time those beetles would turn into two different species because all their genes would eventually mutate, and then mutate so differently that they can no longer reproduce with each other. And the definition of a species is not being able to reproduce with that thing. So like we can't reproduce with chimps, but we look a lot like chimps, but we're not chimps because we can't reproduce them. So that's how people create species. And that's the reason why there's a lot of things that look like each other on Australia and not the rest of the world, because they just drifted off a long time ago and animals stayed on that. And yeah. So anyways, what was the tangent that... Oh no, you forgot. Oh, dingoes. Our biggest natural predator is dingoes, I believe, or crocodiles, saltwater crocodiles specifically.
And I said dogs, and you went, oh, different tangent, because they're not.
Well, it was a tangent and less scientific. It was more of like, I work at a zoo, and they have dingoes, and...
Did you know that those are like venomous or something?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. They're actually really unique.
And
Platypus are really unique. They're monotremes, and there's only a couple of monotremes, and they're... Platypus is closest relatives in echidna, which is the like only other monotreme in the world, and it's just a family. So like, put it in perspective.
Oh, they don't glow. Do they glow in the dark, or is it like they under like UV light they glow for some reason?
Under you, dude. I'm getting so
realize,
much inspiration for other sections.
This makes me realize too. Like I feel like both of us know like a combination of just like weird stuff. That's,
we
like,
do know weird stuff.
Why do we know that?
I like open discussions.
Yeah,
this is
nice.
Cool. So, but I'll end it in 10 o'clock. I feel like it's a good time.
Yeah.
I just want to milk. I don't have this many viewers typically, so I just want to milk it.
I don't know. Where are the viewers? I can't even see. I don't know. Oh. Okay.
So, anyways, platypus, they're monotremes, which is just like me saying horses are perissodactyls, so are zebras, and That's just a name scientists have granted them as a family tree, basically. Think of it like a family tree. Yeah, this whiteboard behind us, we did not acknowledge this whole time.
This is gonna get hung up in our apartment.
Yeah, we're gonna have an apartment, and we could podcast from there. And if we do, it's gonna be in person all the time. So
We can do it in our living room.
that'd be cool.
It's gonna be all science stuff, anyways.
Yeah.
We're nerds.
So, anyways,
Glow in the dark platypuses. Or
UV
dingoes.
light. Put it under UV light. They don't glow in the dark. It's under. It is different, but kind of not if it's in the dark and you just shine a UV light on it. But actually, a lot of animals look different under UV light, and humans are actually striped under UV light. Did you know that?
I got distracted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that is a
Talking about camels.
big paragraph, bro. In the chat, big paragraph from Gas and Burn. But humans are striped under UV light.
Oh, I think we talked about this. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So it's cool that platypuses are like that, but there's a lot of animals that are like that. There's one species of bird around here that you saw, and it looks like it's black feathers, but in the light it kind of looks like gasoline.
What?
There's a bunch of birds. I don't know the name of it.
Oh.
There's a bunch of birds that are like that, but one in Michigan that we've seen. I was trying to relate it to Rose real time. But just look around. If you ever see a bird that's like all black, not necessarily, I don't think crows look like this. I've never seen it on a crow, but in the light, it'll look like gasoline. And if you shine it under UV light, it looks completely different. But anyways, lastly, let's look at Gas and Burn's comment of, interesting fact, Australia has the most camels in the world. And they aren't even a native species here. They just breed exponentially in the outback. We sell both camels and sand to Saudi Arabia and other Middle Eastern countries because we have a massive abundance of both.
Is this true?
Once again, we're all just curious people, so do your
Roll
own
the
research.
dice.
I'm not going to call it
Rolling the dice.
fact,
Roll
but
it.
apparently it's a fact. That's cool. If that's true. That's kind of crazy, too. Some things just don't make any sense, man. I'm not going to lie.
That's one of them. That falls on the
That's
list.
one of them. Last thing I want to do before we go.
Huh. Dingoes.
So, yes. Oh, here we
That
go.
looks a lot like some dog breed. What dog breed? Like a Shiba.
A Shiba
Inu?
Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu.
Shib-
Shimu Inu.
Shiba Inu.
Shiba Inu. The Japanese dog. So, cool thing about this dog, Canis lupus. I looked up the scientific name of this because you can if you work around it enough and memorize it just naturally, you can see how closely related things are. Closest relative of this dingo is a wolf, because a wolf is a Canis lupus. So therefore, a dingo is a wolf that has been on Australia for way too damn long. That's basically what it is. So it's really cool.
Huh.
I actually don't think they're native there originally. I think they were brought there by humans, and then they got wild. So it's like feral cats, but over years and years and years.
Oh, it does say Australia's only native canine is descended from
dingo.
South Asian wolves. So.
Yes. Yeah. So there's actually a lot of things that are really closely related to wolves, including dogs, because they are Canis americanus.
I really feel like we're gonna have a whole segment with Gas.
Dude, Gas and Burn, we gotta invite you on.
Dingo ate my baby.
for a
I've
segment.
never heard that song.
Oh, my mom mentioned that. I think it's an old person thing. Anyways, this is Science HD, baby. Open discussion was a great success for the last 30 minutes. I like that. Might even include that as its own thing in the future, or at least when we do in-person things, at least. Because it's easier to talk in person than it is over Discord, so there's a delay. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in. I think we're going to sign out since it's 10 o'clock. We could be talking all night about science, man. We got off topic, but then we reel it back, and everything we talk about has to relate to science in some ways. Some things can be a little confusing with FN stuff, or some things can be as straightforward as honey.
Has done a lot of math, so when I say FFN, I'm like, oh.
Hey, that's why I'm here. I'll translate it. I'll translate it for everyone. So I would like to thank everyone for being here. Don't leave just yet, because I have a favor to ask. Never mind. I I think he's offline. I was about to raid one of my good friends, DC, and he's hustling for affiliate. If you know what that means, awesome for you. I'm gonna shout him out real quick, and if you want to drop a follow, I think he's only 4 people or 5 people away. And man, if there's just 5 of you generous people that just want to drop a follow on someone that's trying to grind for affiliate, go for it. Other than that,
Also, this little Science HD show is usually gonna be on Tuesdays. It's Tuesday nights.
Tuesdays.
8:30, depending
8:30.
on when I can get on.
Yep, probably 9 o'clock. Might switch it to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Since we just want to do hour, but hour 30 was good for today.
Yeah.
It's not always on Mondays, so yes, we just answered that.
Yep.
So yeah, Tuesdays. It's on Monday because Rose is over for the
I'm here.
weekend, which is not actually a weekend, but this is a second episode, so starting last week. So from
Starting
now on,
Tuesdays next week, not tomorrow. Next week.
If you want updates on it, I have a Discord that I update that stuff on there. So I don't know if you're in it or not. There's a lot of people in there, and it's chill. Not a lot of notifications, no commitments. You can leave as soon as you join if you want. And which is also in my about page on my channel. So this is just a cool little podcast I wanted to do, and I was gonna do it alone, and then Rose was like, I'll do it with you. And I was like, oh my god, that would be awesome, since we both share the love for science. Made up the title by just looking at my username, so simple as that. So for all of you that are still there, thank you so much, and I think that does it for us.
Cool.
Science HD. We need like a phrase at the end.
Yeah.
Science HD.
We'll get there.
We'll
We'll get there.
Maybe next week. All right. Thank you.